I guess it's about time to start shooting this video. Obsessive-compulsive disorder is a disorder where you have, well, let's break it down. So obsessive, it means you can't stop thinking about something, maybe doing something, although the doing part usually falls more under compulsive. So compulsive, you see something and you act to it. You don't just stop. If you act on impulse, that means that you see someone maybe getting teased and you immediately just respond by backing them up. Compulsive is sort of the same thing, except you have the need to do it and you just can't stop yourself. So when you have obsessive compulsive disorder, you have a constant need to do a certain, maybe it's a tic, maybe it's a certain mannerism which would fall under tic, maybe it's a mental state, maybe it's usually OCD is associated with a hypersensitive germophobia, and also with organization, with things needing to be at a specific degree compared to the next thing, and everything needs to be straight, laid out in front of them. OCD can manifest in multiple ways, though. The author displays many of his tics and mannerisms in the performance that you can find online. Also, he talks about how he has to kiss the girl 16 to 24 times, a specific number depending on what day of the week it is. Also that he has to stop in front of cracks on the sidewalk. And there are many other things like that that bother him constantly. You notice the way the poet develops your understanding of his mental state with his troubles with OCD. He uses a bunch of repetition over and over again. In the beginning of the poem, he states that he spent more time organizing his food by color than he did eating it or talking to her on their first date. This shows that his OCD kind of controls all of his social endeavors. Later he talks about how whenever she says that she loves him, her lips curve upwards. This becomes important later on in the poem when she says that she loves him in the very end of their relationship, and her lips form a straight line instead of curving upwards. She starts getting more stressed out, I think, near the end, because she starts worrying about him kissing her goodbye a good number of times, being what causes her to be late to work. Just after that, she also begins ignoring his obsessive-compulsive needs, like when she keeps walking after he stops in front of a crack in the sidewalk. The fact that her presence seems to overcome his obsessive-compulsive disorder is a huge feat in itself, seeing as just sitting in bed alone with himself, he can't stop wondering if he's washed his hands, if he's locked the doors, etc. Those are only a few things, I'm sure, that he has to go through. She completely dominates his obsessive-compulsive disorder and becomes all that he thinks about. Instead of worrying about what's happened, he only thinks about her, the way she blows out candles. And using repetition, he makes you know that that's all he's thinking about now. There's no multiple questions. It's the way she blew out the candles, she blew out the candles, she blew out the candles, she blew out the candles. It's a really significant point in this poem, especially towards the end when he says that he leaves the door unlocked and leaves the lights on. Those are the two biggest lines in the poem that are said. It's so significant because he'll go through basically the hell of being constantly questioned if he locked the doors, if he turned the lights off, over and over again, sitting in bed, but it's just so that he'll get her back, so that she can come in if she needs to, so that she can find her way in. And he's willing to go through all the questioning just so that she'll come back.
He thought it was over.